So the next age group that we're looking at are the 6 to 12 years old. They're school age kids. Some of the milestones that we expect to see is that they're more independent, friends become more important. They'll start to hone in on specific activities that they enjoy. They can have some independence with tying their shoelaces, zipping up their zippers. They don't need you so much to help with dressing and grooming and things like that. Their fine motor skills are becoming more refined as they're learning to write and to draw and things along that nature. You'll see some elements of self-expression, whether it's writing, drawing, music, the things that they're drawn to. And there's a gradual maturation emotionally and socially within this age group. Some of the things that are very normal for 6 to 12 years old: lying. Lying happens. Cheating, stealing, finding loopholes in your arguments, throwing tantrums, being hyper, not listening to you, arguing. They're learning their way in the world and trying to find where they can get away with the most that they can and still stay within the rules. School age kids are learning what they like, how to make friends, and they're looking for approval. And hopefully that approval is coming from you, because if it's not coming from you, they're going to find it from someone else. As you think about this school age, think about it as their job is to find their place in the world, their place in their people. So what do we do if they misbehave? Same kinds of things we've been doing since they were babies. We're teaching instead of punishing. We're listening to them and validating the things that they have to say and the things that they think. We want to praise and reward good behavior. You want to avoid power struggles because you'll lose. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it shakes out. We want to be clear and consistent with our expectations. So whatever was okay yesterday should be okay today, and whatever wasn't okay yesterday still shouldn't be okay today. They need to know where their place is and what those rules are. We also want to model respectful and calm communication. As I said, they're really good at arguing, at looking for loopholes, and it can be really easy to get ratcheted up with them. Stay calm, stay respectful. If you do utilize timeouts, utilize them not as punishment, but more self-regulation. I can see that you're a little bit upset. How about if you take 5 minutes to calm down, breathe, recenter, and we'll talk again when things have calmed down a little bit. When there are consequences that are had, they should be logical and they should be enforceable. They lied to you about failing a test. It would be out of reach or out of step for the consequence to be, well, you're grounded for a month for that. They should be reasonable and enforceable, and allow for natural consequences. Don't rescue them. If they've failed their test, they're lying about it, they're getting a bad grade, then they get a bad grade. That's the consequence. And they will learn very quickly that they are the cavalry that they need, and nobody's coming to rescue them. So you also want to invest in connection and communication. Kids, as we have learned, are designed to be connected to caregivers, and you have to maintain that connection with them for them to stay connected to you. So invest in that time. If they misbehave, here was a quote that came from Very Well Family that I liked. Parents are most effective when they are neither authoritarian or unquestionable, nor permissive of having no expectations. Research shows that an authoritative approach to parenting leads to the most successful outcomes in children. You remain warm and supportive while also enforcing reasonable rules. Great advice. So again, things that we should not do: we're not going to spank or slap. We're not going to hit, scream, belittle, call names, embarrass, shame, isolate, withhold necessities, withhold attention or affection, or threaten consequences with no follow-through. If you don't listen to what I say, I'm taking away the internet and you're never ever going to be on TikTok again. That's not reasonable. The biggest predictor of children thriving through adulthood is having an engaged, competent, and safe um, adult in their life. And investing in that relationship will pay big dividends over the course of your child's life. So you might be sitting here thinking, I got spanked when I was a kid and I turned out all right. So let me just share with you what the research says of why it actually isn't that great for kids. Spanking and shaming can damage relationships. It can also activate the fight, flight, or freeze response in the child's brain. It teaches them aggression, and it also can cause injuries. We know from the research that kids who are spanked and shamed often have negative behavioral outcomes over the lifespan, and it can also create some emotional dysregulation, depression, anxiety, and fear over the lifespan. We have talked in other spaces in our family video series about adverse childhood experiences, ACEs, and the negative outcomes from that. The outcomes for kids who experience ACEs are very similar to kids who experience spanking and shaming as discipline in childhood. So just reconsider perhaps some of the strategies that you're using if you're seeing some of these things in your child. So some of the positive outcomes that we see from using these other strategies other than spanking, shaming, things like that, it's building self-esteem. It's teaching personal responsibility when you allow them to fail. Teaches self-discipline and creates that safety and trust. They know you're there. They know they can come to you. They do better in school, fewer behavior problems, teaches stronger interpersonal skills, and also teaches some healthy stress management.